The shared wall. After my divorce, I needed silence. Not peace, silence. Peace asks for reflection. Silence just doesn't talk back. So I found a small duplex on the edge of town. Cheap, a little crooked, like it had been holding its breath for years. The realtor said the other half was empty. No neighbors, she smiled, handing me the keys. Not since the last tenant moved out. That sounded perfect. I moved in on a Tuesday. Gray sky, stale air, the kind that makes you believe the world's paused just for you. The place smelled like dust and lemon cleaner, which to me meant possibility. I unpacked only the essentials, a mattress, a coffee maker, and the TV remote. I didn't need more, but that first night I heard her laugh. Through the wall, thin as paper, came a soft, lilting chuckle. Not loud, not menacing, just familiar. Too familiar. It was the same laugh my ex-wife had, that half-suppressed sound she made when she didn't want me to know she found something funny. I froze in bed, staring at the wall, listening. Then came the humming. Low, rhythmic, almost sweet. A tune I knew by heart, a lullaby she used to hum when she couldn't sleep. I hadn't heard it in years. At first, I thought it was memory, my mind clawing at old ghosts. Divorce does that to you. It leaves echoes. But the next night, the same sound came. 10 o'clock sharp, the laugh, the humming. By the third night, it wasn't just sound. I could feel it. The faint vibration through the wall, like someone was leaning against it, breathing in sync with me. And when I pressed my palm to the plaster, something on the other side pressed back. For 2 nights, the wall stayed quiet. No laughter, no humming, no soft footsteps tracing the floorboards. Just dead air, the kind that hums in your ears when your mind starts inventing noise to fill the void. I told myself I missed it, not her, it, the sound, the presence. The illusion of another life breathing beside me. But on the third night, I woke to something new. Not humming this time, whispering. A woman's voice, low and steady, muttering words I couldn't catch. I pressed my ear to the wall. The whisper stopped and then started again, closer, like she'd leaned in too. I said, "Hello?" No answer, just the faint drag of fingernails along the plaster. That sound stuck under my skin like a splinter. The next morning, I marched around to the other side of the duplex. The curtains were drawn. The lock rusted over. The mailbox stuffed with flyers dated 2 years ago. Dust on the windows, empty, my ass. I called the realtor again. She sighed, said she'd come by to check. She didn't. By the weekend, I'd convinced myself it was all in my head, a symptom of loneliness that sounded like a haunting. Until I found the note. It was slid under my door sometime between midnight and dawn. A single page torn from an old notebook. In shaky handwriting it read, "Stop knocking, you'll wake her." I didn't sleep that night. Every creak felt intentional. Every whisper in the dark felt aimed at me. The following evening, I set my phone to record and placed it by the wall before bed. At 10:03, the humming started again, louder this time, and layered. One voice humming, another sobbing. When I replayed the recording the next morning, I heard something that hadn't come through the wall before. A third sound. A man's voice, mine, whispering back in sync. That's when I realized something horrifying. The recording hadn't picked up through the wall. The timestamp said 10:03 p.m. But I hadn't pressed record until 10:07. Whatever was on that tape had started before I hit play, before I even lifted my hand from the phone. I stood there, watching those faint handprints pulse in the lamplight, one after another, appearing like breath fog on cold glass. Smaller hands first, then larger ones. The wall looked alive, shifting beneath the paint, as if something was trying to remember how to crawl. I yelled out, because fear makes you stupid like that. "Who's there?" No answer, just a slow drag across the wall from inside. Fingers tracing the outline of where my bed had been. That's when my phone lit up on the dresser. It was playing the voice memo I'd recorded the night before. But I hadn't touched it. The recording played loud this time, my voice whispering, "Don't leave me here." Then her laugh. Then something else. A second whisper, layered beneath the static. "You promise forever." I grabbed the phone, but it slipped from my hand and hit the floor. The screen cracked, and behind me, the wall groaned. A deep, splitting sound, like drywall being pried apart from the inside. I turned just in time to see a crack run straight down the center. A shadow bled through it, black, fluid, slow. I wanted to run. God, I should have run. But there was something in that voice, familiar, pleading, the same tone she used the night she left, or the night I made her leave. The wall convulsed, and from that black seam a hand broke through, gray, trembling, coated in dust and something wet. Then another hand, and then her face, half formed, half decayed, but hers. Her eyes rolled toward me like she'd been searching the dark for years and finally found light. "Why'd you stop listening?" she whispered. I backed away, choking on my own breath. Her body pushed through the gap, shoulder, arm, torso, each movement cracking the wall open wider. The house shuddered. I bolted for the door, but the knob wouldn't turn. Behind me, the humming started again, louder, deeper, like an entire choir underground. And then, from the woods outside, a chorus of voices answered. When I looked back one last time, the wall had gone smooth again. No cracks, no stains. Just a single whisper slipping through the air. "Now you live on my side." By the fifth night, I gave up pretending to sleep. I just sat in the dark, staring at the wall that used to hum, waiting, listening. The house had gone still again, too still, like it was holding its breath for something to begin. At 10:03, right on schedule, the air shifted. Not sound this time, pressure, that heavy, invisible weight you feel when someone's standing too close behind you. The lamp flickered, and faintly across the plaster, the handprints reappeared. Only this time, they didn't stay in place. They started moving, dragging down toward the floor, smearing the paint like wet clay. I whispered her name before I realized it, half a plea, half a test. The humming stopped instantly, and from somewhere beneath the floorboards, the voice answered, faint and strained, "You remembered." I froze. The sound didn't come from the wall anymore. It came from under me. The boards beneath my feet groaned. A low wooden moan, like something shifting in the crawl space. Then, 3 knocks, slow, measured, directly below where I stood. That was enough. I grabbed my keys, my phone, didn't even put on shoes. Ran out into the cold night, the kind that gnaws at your lungs. From the driveway, I looked back at the duplex. Her side, supposedly empty, had a faint yellow glow leaking through the window. Curtains moving, silhouettes pacing. I called the realtor again, voice shaking. She sounded confused, said she was inside the property right now. "Mr. Lane, I'm standing in the other unit. It's completely gutted. No power, no furniture, no lights." But while she spoke, I could still see that warm flicker through the window. And something paused at the glass. A shape, still, watching. That's when the line went dead. No static, no click, just gone. I stood there until dawn, waiting for the lights to fade. They never did. When the sun rose, both windows, hers and mine, were blackened from the inside. Not painted, burned. And that night, even after I left, the humming started again. Soft, patient, following me through the static of the car radio, like the house had learned how to travel. I've stopped moving from place to place, stopped running, stopped pretending silence means peace. Now I understand, silence just makes room for what you tried to bury. Some nights I sit by the wall with the lights off, coffee cooling beside me, listening to the hum bleed through the plaster. It doesn't frighten me anymore. It feels familiar, like breathing in sync with a ghost. Maybe that's what she wanted all along. Not forgiveness, not revenge, just a voice to echo hers. The longer I stay, the more the house changes. The walls seem softer now, like they inhale and exhale with me. Sometimes when I speak out loud, I hear a whisper finish my sentence. Sometimes I wake up with dust on my hands, same shade as the wall. I told myself I'd leave again, find another place, another town. But each time I pack a bag, I hear her hum that lullaby, the one she rewrote for me. The warning, the promise, and I sit back down. A few weeks ago, a new couple came to tour the duplex. Young, smiling, holding hands like they hadn't yet learned the cost of love. The husband ran his hand along the shared wall and said, "Feel solid, good bones." His wife smiled and added, "Quiet too." I should have said something. I wanted to, but the wall behind me gave a faint, contented sigh, like approval. And when the man laughed, it echoed mine so perfectly that I realized the house wasn't empty anymore. That night, the humming returned. Not one voice, 2, hers and mine, tangled together in the drywall, looping endlessly like an old record no one can shut off. So if you ever move somewhere that feels too still, too quiet, too perfect, remember, silence is never truly empty. Sometimes it's just waiting for a familiar sound to answer back. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to The Shared Wall. If it left a chill in your bones, give the video a like. It helps others find our stories. Subscribe for more tales every night, and share this one with someone who loves the dark side of ordinary life. There's another story waiting on your screen. I'll see you back tomorrow, if the walls let you sleep.